to our Tea Talks time 2, where we discuss
Numero
controversial topics over some
debatable
tea.
topics.
Yeah,
They don't always have to be controversial.
No, sorry, debatable topics.
So, if you remember, our tea time talk videos basically feature a drink that we may have received in a previous subscription box review. And we feature the drink, and we talk about or debate a topic. So today's drink feature is Bolero. You will mostly see this in European and some Middle Eastern countries. I don't know if we have it in North America.
We don't. I've never seen this before.
I don't know, but this, it's almost like a powdered drink.
It's like a Kool-Aid.
Almost like a Kool-Aid.
Like an energy drink Kool-Aid.
Yeah, and it's a pineapple drink.
Pineapple flavored.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think there's no sugar in this,
Nice.
which is good.
Nice.
So, I don't know, do you like pineapple drinks in general?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's so good.
I like this one. It's light.
Yum.
All right.
Very light.
So, today's topic.
Are you going to reveal it to them?
You can reveal it to them. Can bullying be stopped in schools? And if
how?
so, how?
This is a very heavy topic, and I don't think we're going to be able to get through everything we want to say.
Yeah.
But bullying, unfortunately, I think, is something that's always been around.
And it will be around.
And will be around, and you'll see it in the workplace, you'll see it in schools, you'll see it at home with your siblings, you'll see it out and about, you know, in the streets, you'll see it everywhere. And it can take on many forms. It could be something as simple as a negative comment about someone.
Or cyberbullying is a big one now.
Cyberbullying is growing, you know, with our dependency on
Snapchats
technology.
and like Facebook.
Yep, Instagram, you name it. And unfortunately, it has a lot of, you know, negative impacts on one's mental health. And so we thought it would be a good topic to kind of chat about today. Obviously, we have our full-time jobs, and, you know, we live another life off of the computer, off of your screens, but we do this as a hobby, and every once in a while we'll get a negative comment where someone might disagree with something we said, or they don't like the way we look, or whatever. Those are things we don't even
Like, we just like
take to heart. We let it roll off our shoulders. But we've been on other YouTube channels where we'll notice in the comments, sometimes the subscribers themselves or the people commenting will kind of go back and forth at each other. And
happened to us.
that's cyberbullying. Not cool, my friends. Not cool. You say, though, that, you know, teachers should play a role in nipping bullying in the bud.
Oh, yeah.
How do you think they can do that? They're not around the kids 24/7. They don't have eyes in the back of their heads.
No.
They already are responsible for
Like
taking care and educating these, you know, kids 8, 9 hours a day. So how do you think teachers should play a role in putting a stop to bullying?
I personally think, thing is, like, kids that are bullied don't go to a teacher, because the moment you go to a teacher, they're like, oh my god, she snitched, which is another form of bullying. Like, they're gonna,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
like, and you know this, like, even when I was younger, like, if I got bullied or someone, like, made fun of me, I'm not gonna be the first one to snitch. Called us snitchers, right? So kids are not gonna do that. Teachers have to also understand, like, it's quite obvious seeing the one person in the class that doesn't have friends, that's constantly, like, kids are laughing at, because you can tell, like, you're in the classroom for 8 hours, like, you're gonna notice. Like, I can tell you, like, I can name, like, the 3 people in, like, elementary school that were always outcasted. It was very obvious, and it was obvious to the teacher, too, because, yeah, some teachers got involved, but honestly, some teachers just don't care.
But you know what?
Sad to say.
Teachers, though, can't force
They can't
their
force
students to be friends.
No, they can't force their students to be friends, but at the same time, like, I just feel like there needs... Okay, so I'll give you a good example of how, like, schools in, like, our area or, like, our district have tried to solve it. It's something called the buddy bench, and they would put a buddy bench outside. And what it is like, one kid would go to the buddy bench and another one would go, and they'd kind of meet and play with each other that day. So, like, oh my god, I'm going to go to the buddy bench. Or if they see someone sitting on the buddy bench, they would go and play with them.
They know that they have to go and approach them and say, hey, would you like to come and play with us? Or start up a conversation or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think that's
pretty
great.
That's like a first, like that's a really big step.
That's
to
a
like
huge step.
like kicking bullying in the butt. But I also think like teachers could do things like for like doing group work, for example, right? Getting people not to just hang out with their friends, but like kind of mixing and mingling, right?
If the group work, I think, is done in class.
In class, sorry.
But if it's done out of class,
no, in class,
I can totally picture a student being like, I'm not going to call, little Johnny. We're going to do it ourselves and leave him out of it.
I think it's a hard topic, man.
It's such a hard topic. I don't think there's a right answer as to how to combat it, because I think bullying basically starts at home. I truly believe that kids who are bullies are lacking something.
Yeah, they're lacking like love
in
or
their
attention.
personal lives. Yes. Maybe they've been, maybe they're a part of a family that sees domestic violence. It happens, and they have all this built up, anger or something in them, and they
take it
out on an easy target at school. So I think, it starts at home. I think the parents need to be very aware. They need to check in with their kids. And a lot of parents do, they'll say, hey, Lisa, how was your day at school today? Lisa may or may not tell her the truth. There are a lot of kids that don't want to tell their parents that they're being bullied because they're embarrassed. Going back to the topic of snitching. I hate that children feel like if they tell an adult or they tell a sibling or a neighbor or a friend that they're being bullied, that it's going to have the opposite effect and they're going to end up getting bullied even more.
So like, I'll give you an example. Like when I was in like 4th, 5th grade, I'd get bullied sometimes by like this like one girl. Or was it grade 6? It was like just one girl that would bully me, and I'd come home crying like all the time to my parents. My parents would be like, well, we're gonna go tell the principal like tomorrow, and I'd be like, no, don't tell the principal, like please don't tell the principal, because I already know the first thing that's gonna happen is gonna become a huge story, and everyone's either gonna turn against me for snitching or they're gonna turn against her, but it's most likely they turn against me for snitching, right? Because that's how it always went. Like it always,
you got me in trouble.
Yeah. So my parents would just be like, ignore, which I also hated, because it's like, no, I need a solution. Like I can't just keep ignoring.
Yeah.
Right. Like that was always what they would say. Oh, just ignore. Oh, just ignore them. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you can only ignore, but like a 11-year-old is not gonna like feel comfortable like continuously ignoring something that's like constantly like at.
Yeah.
And I feel like in high school, bullying in high school is even worse.
We all have to do our part in, kind of trying to put a stop to it.
I also think like counseling in schools is like kind of like
it's so important.
Well, when I grew up, there wasn't counseling. Like that was evident for students.
In elementary school, no. High schools have guidance counselors.
They do, but I feel like elementary school, you need to nip it in the butt there, not when the kid gets to high school.
Yeah.
Like elementary kids, they think, oh, they're just kids, like they'll be fine, they'll get over it. Like no, you need like legit counseling in these schools, because half these kids don't even want to open their mouths. And like if you can offer a program where it's like, you take like a kid that you suspect is upset, or suspect they've been going through a lot, or suspect like they're missing a lot of homework, or they're missing like exams, or like you feel like they don't make a lot of friends, you can give the kid or the kid's parents an option of, would he like to like just talk to a teacher or talk to a counselor like once a week, miss recess like one time, and I bet you that kid will like kind of feel a lot better, I think.
And you know what I think?
I think they're missing a lot of counselors like in the younger generations.
Yeah. And I think that it would be nice, I don't know if there are some schools in the world that do this, but it would be nice if at the start of like a school year, there's some sort of like a lesson or something that's taught, made part of the curriculum, to show the effects of bullying. I think if we were to, teach these kids and these students that bullying is not okay, and that these are the long-term effects it can have on someone, it might kind of alter their thinking a little bit and make them take a step back and, think about a situation before, they do something to hurt someone else. And, when we were growing up, life was a lot simpler in the sense that, we didn't have cell phones to use and communicate with people that way. We had like MSN,
Even MSN became cyberbullying though.
It really did. I think that was maybe like the turning point.
Like MSN Messenger.
But like, you know, back like growing up, bullying was done mostly like
In person.
face to face.
Yeah.
Whereas now it is so incredibly easy for someone to just hop
Yeah, on a screen.
create a fake profile, a fake name, steal someone else's picture, and just say nasty things about someone that you may not like for whatever crazy reason. You know, I'm hopeful. I hope that I live long enough to see a day where bullying just doesn't exist and you don't hear about it. But I'm also a realist in the sense that I don't think it's ever going to completely disappear.
I think everyone needs to educate their children that it's not okay. And
Yes.
you need to watch what your children is doing on the computer. Half these parents, I'm sorry, I'm not here to
Yes.
judge. Half you parents, like, don't even check what your child is doing on the internet. You need to, like, if your child is under the age of 15, you need to, like, you need to have some sort of, like, I'm not saying stalk what they're doing on the internet, but keep your eye, like, keep aware. Because one post that your child makes that you're not aware of could ruin another child's life.
Yeah, I think having open communication, but this is the thing though about how bullying affects mental health too. Like, if I had a child that came home and had a smile on his face or her face, and I asked, how was school today? And they said, oh, it was great, Mom. You know, I got my test back. I got an A. You know, my teacher loves me. You know, we did this really cool activity in gym class, blah, blah, blah. Like, any child can put on this fake face, but you don't know if they're going to bed crying.
But that's like when, I feel like with kids it's harder for them to hide their emotions though. Maybe for teenagers,
are very
but I feel
honest,
like kids
yeah.
are very honest. Like, you can nip it in the butt early.
Yeah.
Like a kid, honestly, I work with kids, like, they always tell on each other.
They're-
like, they're always running,
They're
like, this
brutally
kid
honest with
me.
each other. Yeah.
Jacob can sometimes, like, they,
Right. So,
you
okay,
can
so
nip that in
this,
the butt from the
this
beginning.
then sparks the question. At what point does it change from a child being brutally honest and saying, hey, Johnny hit me, and then to, you know, by the time you get to high school, you realize, oh, it's not cool to, you know, tell a teacher that.
No, that happens in, like, I feel like the whole, like, not cool thing happens, like, pre-puberty. Like, during the puberty years, like, from grades 5 to, like, 8.
You think so?
Yeah, that's when, like, being cool is actually a thing, and, like, snitching becomes a story.
Why do people get such gratification from
Because
bullying?
they think it's funny. They think it's fun. It's funny.
But this happens in the workplace too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Jealousy.
I'm lucky enough to not, you know, have faced bullying in the workplace, but, you know, sometimes you sit back and you can see, you know, a manager, you know, just for whatever reason, picking on one employee. So yeah, so when it comes to the question, can bullying be stopped in schools? My personal opinion is yes and no. No, in the sense that it'll never completely disappear, unfortunately, because you simply cannot control a child's, you know, personality or behavior, their natural tendencies, their, you know, the things they may go through at home. Like, there's so many factors, and not everyone is going to have the same life. But I'm a believer in the sense that if teachers, education systems, parents, communities all come together to, you know,
Find a solution.
and try different tactics. You know, what might work for one community doesn't work for another. What might work for Canada might not work for, you know, a country in Europe. You know, it really takes a village to raise a child. And part of that, you know, process, I think, is just teaching kids, teaching teenagers.
And you need to teach them, like, kindergarten, grade 1 years.
Yes, don't wait until they're
wait
old
until they're
enough.
older.
Yeah.
Like, these kindergartens are bullying. You need to, like, nip it in the butt then and there. If you find, like, a child is outcasted, he's gonna continue to be outcasted. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you need to, like, find a way when they're young to kind of bridge it all together.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah. I think we just need to do a better job as a society to kind of band everyone together and say, hey, we're all human beings. I don't care what your race is. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care whether you have a disability or not. Bullying is not okay in any circumstance. And schools need to continue to implement strategies to try to banish it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think maybe schools need harsher consequences?
How much harsher can you be?
I don't know.
Suspension, okay.
There are suspensions, there are expulsions, but I don't know. Maybe you get students to write a 10-page essay
Maybe,
on
yeah.
why bullying is not okay.
Yeah.
You know, maybe there needs to be a better like consequence strategy implemented in school systems. I don't know. I don't know if there is a right answer. But that's our take on schools and bullying and whether it can be completely banished. But we would love to hear your thoughts on this. You know, it's one of those topics that's never going to have a completely right answer as to how to deal with it. But you know, would it kill you to say something nice about someone? My God, like if you like Sally's red T-shirt, tell her. Be like, hey girl, nice shirt.
Hey, girl.
You know, rather than pick on. We can sit here and chat for hours, and there's so many things that we want to chat about, but we're not going to because we want to keep it classy.
Classy.
If you do have any ideas, like Kelly said, let us know. Write in the comments below, or if you have a comment about this video, we'd love to start the conversation.
Yay.
Say no to bullying, my friends. That's the message. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.